up, dudes? I'm V3rdeye, and I'm here to teach you how to get out of the system. Now, first of all, you need to know what the system is. The system has many names: the establishment, society, but for simplicity, we're just going to call it the system. And the way the system works is most people come out of school and they look for work. And unless you go on to further education, you can't get a very well-paid job just from high school. At least that's what they'll make you think. You go and take whichever job you can because you've moved out of your parents' place, rent is expensive, food is expensive, living gets really expensive. You want to find work, and the only work that you can get immediately will be something minimum wage. So you're working for a chain, somebody established, so like a supermarket, fast food chain, anything like that. That's the reality that most people that leave school have to live. They have to get easy work so that they can continue paying rent and living the way they want to live. Now the problem with that is that all your money, all your income is coming from one source. That source can be taken away from you at any moment. Most people working those jobs are living paycheck to paycheck, so they can only pay rent when they get paid, and then once they get paid, most of the money is already gone. In a way, it is modern slavery, because you're working for such a small amount that you don't have the freedom to actually stop working. You're going to be working forever. A lot of people do that exact thing. They end up having children or having a family to support, and they're stuck in this job that pays them minimum wage, and they're trying to climb the corporate ladder, which doesn't really work when you're working such low paying jobs. It's hard to climb up there. You're working hourly, so it doesn't matter how much work you do, you're still being paid per hour of work you put into that establishment. So if you want to get out of the establishment, if you want to get out of the system, this cycle, that you're living paycheck to paycheck and you cannot do anything more, here's how you get out of it. Let's say, for example, you have a child. Now, if you want to keep that child out of the system entirely, don't give birth in a hospital. Don't give them a birth certificate. Now, that's going to sound kind of controversial because there's a lot of things you need a birth certificate for, or they'll make you think you need it for. For example, a passport, driving license, pretty much anything. Bank account, you need one. So if you don't have a birth certificate, it's going to make living in the system very difficult. But if you want to be completely outside of it, then you're fine. The second thing is homeschooling. The schooling system as it is right now is completely flawed. I made a whole video on this before. It's called Why You Should Drop Out of School. High school is designed to make you think a certain way. They don't encourage free thinking. They don't allow you to pick your subjects most of the time. Most of the time, you're given a curriculum and you have to learn that, and there's nothing else. And you have to work at the same pace as the rest of the class. There's no special privileges in high school. For the most part, you're being indoctrinated. You're being programmed to believe a certain way. And I think that school is mandatory because they don't want children building businesses at a young age. They don't want people being successful very young, because a young person who's an entrepreneur and very successful is praised by the media. They get a lot of attention and a lot of business by being young. Completely stop that from happening, what you do is you keep that child in a school for 6 to 8 hours a day, every day, and then give them work when they go home too. So that they have no free thinking time. They cannot think for themselves ever. They're always going to be thinking about school. And another part of school is you don't get to choose who you go to school with, which is how bullying happens. Most child depression is created, or teen depression is created, because you're stuck in a place with people you don't particularly like, you don't want to be there. You're learning things that you know will have no value to you later in life. There's nothing in high school that I've used in my real life. As soon as I left, I started teaching myself how to use a camera, building my own business online. So if you want to keep a child out of the system, homeschool them. Very important. That's what I'll be doing with my children if I ever have some. And I encourage it, because then you can teach them at their pace. You never have to work them too much. They'll actually pay attention because it's you who's teaching. It's the parent who's teaching them. The third thing, people watching this right now probably want to know, you need to work for yourself. You have to find some sort of work that you can do yourself. Be your own boss, because then you can work your own hours. You can make as much money as you put time into your job. You're not being paid hourly, so you can go at your own pace. And usually working for yourself is stress-free for the most part, because there's never anybody looking over your shoulder. It's just you. I'm not going to give too many suggestions, but the internet exists. There are so many lines of work you can go down with the internet. You can be a graphic designer, you can be a video editor, a programmer, you can write code. There's a lot of jobs available on the internet. You just have to figure it out for yourself. I'm not going to be able to teach you how to make money online. Fourth thing here is probably controversial again. Don't vote. Don't take part in politics. Don't contribute whatsoever. Don't watch it. Don't eat it. Don't consume politics, because for the most part, politicians don't listen to the people. They work for whoever pays them. So a lot of shady stuff happens in politics, so don't vote, just don't take part, don't contribute to that whatsoever. I've never voted in my life, I'm never going to. I don't care what people say, politics just isn't a game that I want to be a part of. Because when you contribute to that, you're then 100% a part of society. You are completely playing the game that they want you to play. And in my opinion, voting doesn't make a difference. I think it's easily exploitable. They can easily hack it. It doesn't matter how many people write down or tick a box, that number can be changed on using a computer, so it doesn't make any difference. And public opinion can be exploited too, using social feed algorithms. You can show people positive things about one candidate and then negative things about another. It's all fake. The whole thing is just a game to them. So I don't contribute. If you want to be completely out of the system, don't use money. Don't use cash. Don't use money whatsoever. So if you find work, and if you start working for somebody else, let them pay you in food or accommodation or in anything that is not money. That's how you get 100% out. That's something I don't have much experience in because I've never really accepted wages in anything other than cash. I'm not out of the system 100% yet. I'm probably like 40% out of the system at the moment. But in the second part of this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing to keep myself as far away from the system as I can. For people living in the UK, the NHS exists, the hospital. Don't use it. Don't use that. I know it's free for the most part, but don't use it. If you get sick or break something, obviously you're probably going to have to use it. But if you get sick and you know how to treat it yourself, which is entirely possible with natural medicines, I'd recommend doing that. It's not going to apply to everyone. A lot of people do rely on the NHS and on medicine, health insurance, but if you want to be out of the system, you can't use it. Even though it's there available for us for free, the people are still paying for that service, so it's technically not free for anyone. Okay, now that we've talked a little bit about the system, I'm going to now teach you what living off-grid is like, because that's something I've done a lot of, and it's quite different to being out of the system, but in a way it's also the same. Let's go in my garden, let me show you exactly what I'm doing to keep myself as far away from the system as I can. Alright, this is where most of the magic is happening. So now, we are in my garden. Let me show you a little tour of all the vegetables that are growing out here, and fruit. And we're trying to grow as much food as we can. If anything happens, say there's like a petrol strike, and trucks can't deliver food to supermarkets, everyone is screwed, unless you have stored food, which we have a lot of. But also we're growing a lot of fresh stuff, so let me just give you a little tour. We have a whole range of things, mostly carrots out here. These are all different plants and veggies. In here is one of my favorites. It's my tomatoes. These are coming along nicely. And then here we have more things. Wild rocket down there. Coriander. So this is what I'm probably most proud of. This is the vegetable plots. I spent a lot of time helping make all this happen. We cut out the plots. We planted beans. Not sure what these are. Maybe lettuce has? I have no idea. I'm not entirely sure what we've grown here, but it helped make it happen. This thing started to flower. Not sure what it is though. These beans are not doing so good. They're meant to be a lot bigger than that by now, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't judge. I noticed earlier this little guy here. It's a green bean. It's an actual green bean. It came out of the ground. Heckin' yeah. These are going to be apple trees. Apple tree. Apple tree. That one was already here. That one's a pear tree. Pear tree. Apple tree, I believe. And back here, these are raspberry canes, but these aren't taking just yet because they're raspberry clippings, so it's taking a while to just kind of flourish. But hopefully these guys pick up. Back here we got some potatoes. These have all just kind of popped up this week. So great. So these are all going to be some great potatoes. Yeah, very exciting. So before I moved here, I knew nothing about gardening. I knew nothing about growing food. And we just kind of gave it a go. It's very exciting. We're lucky to now have a garden. I've never had like a garden to grow food in before. So we're just taking advantage of it. That's one way of us getting outside of the system, because now we don't rely so much on supermarkets for fresh stuff. We now have the infrastructure to build to grow whatever we want. We've got this whole space, so we're just gonna keep on growing things until there's no more space left. So now the second part of this video is living off-grid. Now living off-grid is one way of getting out of the system, because you don't rely on rent. You don't have to pay rent. But living off-grid doesn't necessarily mean you're out of the system, because a lot of people who live off-grid aren't self-sustaining, which means they don't grow their own food or they don't collect rainwater, and maybe they don't have solar for electricity. So let me just kind of explain how you can live completely off-grid, self-sustaining, out of the system completely. So first off, don't pay rent. So either live in a vehicle or live in something that you built yourself, or buy a house so you don't have to pay any mortgage or anything. The thing is, with living in a vehicle, you're still paying car tax, car insurance. Unless you're on your own land, you still have to pay those things, which means you're still part of the system because you're still paying money to the government. And the second thing is collect rainwater, obviously, because the rainwater is free and you're not stuck to the plumbing system. Where I live right now, we're not connected to the sewer. We have a septic tank, but we do get rainwater from somewhere. I'm not sure where it comes from. So I'm still part of the system because I'm still getting the water from somebody else. Solar, obviously, generate your own electricity, wind power, anything you can to make electricity so you're not part of the power grid, the electrical grid. That's one way to get out of the system. Grow your own food, obviously, as I explained just now, that's what I'm working on. Log burner for heat so you're not paying for gas. And then if you don't want to use a car, use a bicycle. Bicycles are very eco-friendly. You don't have to pay rent on it, you don't have to pay insurance on it. There's no tax for a bike. So that is one way for you to get completely out of the system. I should have said this at the start. Essentially, the system is paying the government money. So if you can find any way to not pay them money, then you're out of the system. The government basically runs everything. So your power, your electricity, your water, all of that, the government has their hands in. They're taking a cut of any money you give to anything. Hopefully, watching this video, you didn't think that I'd have all the answers. I obviously don't have all the answers. I don't know what we can do to get completely out of this. But these are some steps for you to take and use and apply to your own life to help you get as far away from it as possible. Now, I still use supermarkets. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect here. I'm just saying that I'm trying to contribute as little to society as I can. The biggest thing for me is when I left school, I knew that I wanted to look out for me. I wanted to do everything I could so that I could succeed, and I knew that I didn't work well in team environments, so I had to be my own boss. It took me a few years after school to figure out how to be my own boss. Luckily, I met some YouTubers that taught me how to do it, because I probably couldn't figure this out on my own. What you need to realize when you're becoming your own boss is, unless your business idea is going to make you millions the first year, you're probably going to be poor for a while until you figure it all out. I've been my own boss for 6 years, and it's taken me a long time to figure out how to make any kind of good money on it. You got to budget well, eat very little. Maybe a year or two I've been living out of vehicles and in forests and stuff, and I haven't been paying rent. So it's only now that I am paying rent. Like, I'm kind of going back and forth between off-grid and living on-grid. The benefits of being on-grid is I can post videos, because it's very hard to post videos off-grid, but it's not impossible. So if anyone is actually trying to live that lifestyle, it is possible. There's just a lot that goes into it to make it possible. Hopefully this video made sense. It's an idea that I've been discussing with my friends Joey and Chelsea for a little while. They've been doing a lot of off-grid living. It's quite inspiring what they're doing. They've got a beautiful life ahead of them with the infrastructure that they built. Hopefully now these veggies can feed my parents if anything goes wrong. I'm probably not going to be here much longer. I'm about to go traveling to Azora. Got a few weeks left now before Azora happens. I'm definitely not prepared for it, but I'm excited. If anyone is going to Azora, hit me up, let me know in the comments, or just send me a DM somewhere. Let me know. I am looking to hitch a ride from the UK to Hungary. Azora obviously at the end of July until like the 4th of August, so if anyone's going, let me know. I'm trying to find a ride. If I can't find one, I might have to fly to Germany and then hitch one from there. Sorry this video wasn't posted on a Sunday. I was posting consistently for 3 weeks. Like the best record I've had all year, and then I missed my Sunday upload. My friends showed up and I got distracted and my brain just stopped working. So sorry it's taken me a few days to get this video up. I really need 2 pieces of equipment to make my videos better. I need a tripod, which is about 4 or 5 feet tall, so that I can shoot anywhere, because at the moment I'm quite limited to how tall or places I can go to film, because my tripod's tiny. It's a tiny little gorilla pod. So I need that, and I need a better microphone, because obviously the wind has been affecting my videos the past like 10 videos. My other microphone broke, and I need a new one. So those 2 things I'm looking to get. If you want to help support the channel and help me get better equipment so that I can make better quality videos for you guys, then check out the shirts in link in the description. This is one of the new designs. There's a few on there. We're going to be making more throughout summer. So yeah, check them out. This one's called Ask Questions. It's a very subtle message. Mushrooms have answers. Well, what can I say? So if you want to support the channel, check it out. Also, crystal necklaces. I used to make those last year. I'm getting back into those. A whole shipment just arrived, so I'm going to be making them all week, and then hopefully the store will be up on the weekend. So if you want to be updated on that, check out the Instagram Fractals. The link is in the description or on the screen right now. Go follow that for updates on the crystals. Okay, that is all from me. I need to now go edit this and then get to work on my second channel of videos, because I've kind of neglected the second channel. Thank you so much for watching. This is a topic that I'm quite passionate about, and I'd love to discuss ideas with you guys. If anyone has any ideas on how to live more outside the system than I currently am, please let me know. Obviously I can't do anything illegal, but please let me know if you have any ideas. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.